Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR, so let's just dive in and let's start off with this tweet here from Danny Ide. So we do see we're working with a very large European fund manager at the moment on a tokenized fund structure that we're hoping to launch in the next few weeks. Now, Toko is one of those use cases that I really kind of put a spotlighted attention on this channel whenever I do talk about Hedera and the vast amount of use cases building out on the network, simply because of the reach of this project. Very similar to like Neuron, right? We've talked about Neuron so much on this channel. I do think that that is one of the most exciting use cases being built out on Hedera, which is going to take some time, but it will definitely be worth the wait in terms of the volume and value that it will bring to the network. But Toko is also another one, right? Toko is a very diverse use case, especially in the world of tokenization, as we do see tokenization becoming a big area of focus from large names out there. I do think that Toko is going to be one of those projects that gets a lot of recognition because of the networks that could be utilized, like Hedera, because of the efficiencies tied to it. Now, as we do scroll down here, we do see it is literally a pull down menu as you're creating a token within the platform. You can pick. We've already integrated Ethereum, Polygon, Hedera, and Algorand. And out of all of those, we already know which chain is the most efficient. And then down here, we also see a mention of the convergence of DeFi with CeFi, which I think is extremely large. It also does talk about the integration here. InvestX wins ecosystem excellency brokerage liquidity and yield solution. This happened in 2021. And then down here in 2022, Toko and InvestX won below the TADS Awards. And look at this. This is pretty big. So I do think that Toko is going to be a big giant within the Hedera ecosystem, especially in terms of the HTS service. I think that that's going to be a big one. But also over here, we do see the Toko network platform creates the tokens upon the issuer's confirmation. The associated smart contract is deployed to the public blockchain. The issuer can verify the current status of their tokens on the corresponding blockchain. And here you guys have a little bit of a preview of the solution. You see up here, welcome John, account type. You can see the institution, issuances, total issuances, all that kind of stuff. Then down here, do you see that asset class? Real estate. Real estate has always been a focus of mine because of just how large the market is in terms of the amount of disruption that could actually happen. But also, we do see down here, his real estate assets are digitized in token, from making it faster, cheaper, and easier to fundraise outside of traditional capital cycles. And everything is managed through the digital ledger, with no additional work required from John. And here you guys have the Hedera token service being mentioned in terms of the token standard. What do you see down here? Benefit from the compliance by design architecture, a hybrid public and private network, which keeps your sensitive securities to information away from prying eyes. Toko deals with the complexity of tokenization, so you don't have to. And yeah, I do think that this is very exciting. Everything is built within this is like an all-in-one solution, if you will, to tokenization. I believe that Toko is going to be the one that gets adopted the most, simply because of the ties to it. DLA Piper is the major name behind Toko, and we already know how large DLA Piper is from my past videos on DLA Piper itself. Now, also, like I said, real estate, big game. Over here, we do see from Toko themselves, this is on the DLA Piper website, Toko using tokenization to boost property syndicate investment in New Zealand. And yeah, we could actually see this solution already being created and utilized outside of the US. It really is very exciting to see the evolution of some of these asset classes. Like when we look at real estate, I know on the surface it doesn't seem like a large market. I mean, technically speaking, yeah, it seems like it, but I don't think people realize just how large of a market it is. I mean, it's a $300 trillion plus asset class. So as we do look at that, and we look at the amount of money that is tied to it, and we look at the services that are being created around it, you know, I do think that there's a lot of money to grasp here. You know, even just like a fraction of a percent would be enough to drastically increase value as well as volume. But I do think that Toko is going to be one that gets a lot of focus, like I said, because of how large DLA Piper is. But also, the solutions that are already being created on Toko, is very vast. Here's the solutions, building solutions to solve organizational inefficiencies. And we do see real estate, and you can learn more about all of these by just clicking the Learn More tab, and you can see what is actually happening here in terms of the RIA fund. This is access to markets, efficiencies, liquidity, flexibility, data democratization, and then tokenization on how it benefits from tokenization. See the key benefits down here, and you can also see what they're actually really kind of focused on around real estate as well. I do think that this is huge. I think that all of these solutions are around real estate, funds, art and media, intellectual property, rights and entitlements. We just talked about this with Casper, right? Casper is doing very well with IPW. This is a huge one. I actually think that this is like what we are seeing around tokenization is essentially the retail sector being kind of scared away from it because they think that, oh, tokenization is just NFTs. But outside of just NFTs around art, there are such large use cases here. Like you could even tokenize debt. Imagine tokenizing debt. That's trillions of dollars right there. And down here, we do see debt and project financing. And you could read all about these. Like I said, like it really is one of the most interesting use cases being built out on Hedera. And I strongly believe that although, yes, you can utilize other chains, going back here, you can utilize like Ethereum, Polygon, Hedera, and Algorand. Which chain out of all of those do you think is the most scalable, the cheapest, the most energy efficient, the most efficient chain out of all of them to utilize? Well, it's basically Hedera. There's no questioning that. We know energy wise, right? The energy amount that Hedera utilizes for a lot of these major use cases, like we know Hedera is best suited for a lot of these use cases, especially as you were talking about the value and volume that will be moved over something like Hedera through the HTS service, which by the way, you can see the technologies, DLT, HTS. Like, as we look at this, Hedera is becoming the pioneer around a lot of these high scalable use cases. And the problem is that you won't find them out on any other like major chain. Like you're not going to find this use case on Ethereum. Yes, you could source the potential of Ethereum, but we all know that it's not scalable enough. It's not best suited for these use cases. Hedera is. When you look at microtransactions or when you even look at just transactions alone, Hedera is best suited for this. I've talked about this so many times. And I really do believe that Toko is going to be a game changer, especially when you look at the overall technology behind a lot of this. I really do think that tokenization could reach, hundreds of trillions of dollars. Now, also, we have over here, is crypto that doesn't hurt the environment possible? Listen closely to this minute and 31 second long video. This is very interesting, and I'll talk a little bit more about this after.
We talk about this, and we talk about sort of the broader sustainability issues in which the cryptocurrency industry exists. I wanted to talk about how this interfaces with sort of the regulatory conversation. I know there's a bunch of front lines in the regulatory battle as it relates to cryptocurrency here in the US, elsewhere around the world. Do you see the energy conversation impacting or intersecting with the regulatory conversations that you hear about from Hedera or elsewhere?
Absolutely. In fact, the regulators are actually very interested in carbon footprint, energy usage, environment. This is very much an interest to them. And our entire industry is very interested in having some clarity on the regulations. And as far as we can tell, I think the world is moving towards starting to get some of that clarity. And that will be a huge boon to the whole industry. And the world governments could have just said, we hate blockchains, we're going to stamp it out, but they're not. They recognize the value of it and are now trying to find a way to live with it. That's a good sign.
Is there a conversation in there about proof of stake versus proof of work, specifically among the regulatory class? What do you think?
There is. Yes, I've talked with people who are in positions where they have influence here, and they are very interested in that because they want all the benefits of a blockchain, but they really don't want to use as much electricity as Argentina. They really would like to use that electricity for something else. And so when you tell them, you can have the best of both worlds. In fact, you could even have better things. You can have finality. You can have all sorts of good things without wasting the energy. They're very interested in that.
And, again, like as we do look at the use case potential around crypto itself, like he is right. They could have easily have said, hey, we don't want blockchain technology at all. Let's stomp it out. But instead, they see the value here. Maybe not in the US because the US is a little bit, I would say, it's like a double-edged sword in the US. But as we do look at other nations, they want to utilize crypto. They want to utilize blockchain technology. And specifically, they want to utilize technology that is extremely efficient, that is extremely environmentally sustainable. Although, yes, you could make the argument around fiat currencies, how fiat currency is not environmentally sustainable, how it's, there's a lot of problems tied to it, all this kind of stuff, right? It's still the idea that, hey, they want to make a statement. And there's policies in place, there's regulations in place, these companies, these major enterprises, they all want to have sustainable business practice. So how can they do that? And that's exactly why I say, like, the technology leaders around this space in the next couple years, it's going to change rapidly. I mean, do I believe that Hedera will become the one size fits all for everything? No, absolutely not. It would be idiotic for me to think like that. But I do believe that Hedera is going to be a pioneer and leader around blockchain technology. And I do think that's going to be rapidly adopted around the world because of the efficiencies tied to it. Over here, we do see, when we say Hedera is a green chain, it means we're actively scaling the energy and ESG markets. But just in case you care about Hedera's environmental footprint compared to other leading chains, and they do mention all of them, here's some data. So again, going back to that initial statement over here, scrolling down, you can see Ethereum, Algorand, Tezos, and Hedera. So here is a few of them. So we'll go off of the first one, Tezos. It's 3,000 times less energy than Tezos, 1,100 times less energy than Algorand. Okay, and then look at Ethereum, 3,300 times less energy than Ethereum. Like, when you look at this chart, it doesn't even, like, most people don't realize just how energy efficient Hedera is until you look at charts like this. And it's 1,000 times less energy than Visa per transaction. Like, think about how insane that is. And this is exactly why I say, like, enterprises, corporations, institutions, etc., they want to utilize something like Hedera. Hedera is going to be the first one in their targets when they want to utilize scalable solutions that are extremely green. And over here, we do see the SIF is committed to bringing the balance sheet of the planet to the public ledger through the power of Web3. Down here, we are proud to showcase Hedera's ever-growing ecosystem of sustainability-focused projects over the coming days. We'll be diving deeper into some of these projects and how they're using Web3 to build towards a greener future. And look at all of these major names. Like, we are truly seeing them focus on the ever-growing ecosystem of sustainability, one, but also we do see them taking the balance sheet of the planet on Hedera very seriously. I mean, look at all of these names. This is no joke at all. And yes, we continue to see the SIF expanding rapidly, especially even in terms of refi. I think that this is a big deal. And even over here, Hedera's commitment to sustainability extends throughout our ecosystem. Through the use of the Guardian and our carbon negative network services, our partners are building the next generation of tools and products to drive net zero targets. Down here, by utilizing the Hedera Consensus Service and the Guardian, Avery Dennison's connected product cloud, Atman.io, is bringing decentralized trust and transparency to carbon accounting and decarbonization for billions of products globally. And also ServiceNow, right? They're addressing widespread industry issues of information asymmetry and fraud in ESG through the use of the Guardian and Hedera as a decentralized trust layer. And remember, ServiceNow is 80% of the Fortune 500. This is no joke. This is seriously no joke. And again, like, as most people want to sit around, just saying, hey, what about the price of HBAR? Why isn't HBAR's price going up? Why is it this, that, whatever? Like, take a step back. All right? Understand where we are at right now with Hedera. We are still in the infancy. Yes, it's been 2 years since I started talking about HBAR. But in that time, we have seen nothing but rapid growth, the loudest noise being made in the space, consistent updates, partnerships, ecosystem growth, network adoption, network expansion. And it's only just beginning. So with all that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. Others, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.